On patrol. Lessons from day one. Ever dreamed of being a deputy or a detective? When I was a little girl, I mostly just wanted to be Cinderella. But after my Uncle Kenny, now Ken, became a deputy back in the 1970s, I was fascinated with law enforcement. I didn't necessarily want to arrest people or even chase people. I just had a growing appreciation for justice and crime prevention. Detective shows also drew my attention. They were intriguing. Then TV shows like Charlie's Angels made detective work even look glamorous. But I didn't study law enforcement. Life took me in different directions. Now, 50 years later, I've come to realize that the intrigue remains. So, when given opportunity to join the CAP team in my 55-plus community, I thought, why not? As you may know, CAP stands for Citizens Assisted Patrol, a volunteer program organized by the Polk County Sheriff's Office. The CAP volunteers are trained to be the eyes and ears for the Sheriff's Department. CAP members are scheduled to patrol in marked vehicles the grounds of their respective communities to deter crime. As part of a 6-hour training session, we were told by Sheriff Grady Judd that crime in Polk County is now low, implying that CAP has something to do with that. The volunteers don't handcuff anyone or even chase anyone. We basically just wave at everyone while observing everything. We're mostly a presence, letting would-be criminals know that people are watching. Should we notice something out of the ordinary, we would then call the real authorities, including 911, if necessary. The simple uniform consists of a t-shirt, cap or visor, and a name badge on a lanyard. The marked vehicle is a club car, golf cart. This video was taken by my mother at the start of day one. See the wave? Besides a lot of smiling and waving during my first 2-hour shift, I did a lot of looking and thinking. Perhaps some overthinking. For example, a van of an air conditioning service seemed to be parked in front of one home for a really long time, as if I know how long such a task should take. So I took a picture. Both the logo and the license plate have been covered in the photo, so as not to give either good or bad press to the company. Each CAP member has been encouraged to trust your gut, so I patrolled that area several times to see if my gut was onto something. Growing tired of driving back and forth in front of the home, I finally convinced myself that the AC job was likely legit. But better to be full of caution than careless? They do say that it's better to call the deputy or even 911 over nothing than to not have called, and it turned out to be something. Later on the day one journey back to driving down other streets, I swerved to miss a bird. When it didn't fly away, I stopped and watched. I'm certainly no bird expert, but it sounded a little in distress, so I took a picture. Here's a closer view. With the click of the picture taking, the bird flew away, so I assume that it's okay. I then drove down other roads, and sometimes back down those same roads again. I sometimes saw the same people again, and we waved again. A man bidding goodbye to a couple saw me coming down the road, so he pointed at the couple and said, "I didn't do it, they did it." Thankfully, I didn't take him seriously and twist-tie them to the golf cart. We all chuckled and went our merry way. During the first hour, my eyes scanned. I looked for anything noteworthy, whether it be suspicious behavior or a broken window. In the second hour, they usually skimmed. I can see why it's tempting for those who are supposed to be on high alert, even those getting well paid to do so, to sometimes let their guard down, figuring the next minute will be just as uneventful as the previous 100. But in the times in which we live, where it's long been stated final movements will be rapid, keeping our eyes open is crucial. At the end of my first shift, I turned the golf cart, CAP cell phone, and report log over to the next patrollers. On my walk home, I was thankful to stretch my legs after sitting so long. Partway there, I was still on high alert and noticed chunks of broken glass near a stop sign, so I took a picture and picked up the pieces to spare drivers some flat tires and flip-flopped walkers some pain. In reflecting on the day, I hadn't caught any big criminals committing crimes. I didn't save a life, not even a bird's, and there wasn't even one broken window to report. So perhaps picking up broken glass was my good deed for the day? The spiritual lesson I learned from day one is that Real life is sort of like patrolling duty. There are phases where not much seems to happen, at least not dramatic things, and we may need to go down the same roads several times, crossing paths with the same people time and again, until we learn whatever lessons that we need to. Our job isn't to scold our neighbors for having high grass, or even for being high on grass. But we are our brother's keeper, carefully and hopefully lovingly watching out for each other. But cynicism creeps in, whenever we allow it, making us suspicious of nearly everyone, all the while thinking that we're making no difference to anyone. But even just a friendly smile and a wave, no matter how many times we cross paths, can actually make someone's day, and even save his or her life. None of us is Wonder Woman or Superman, nor should we try to be. And we're certainly not the Savior. There is only one. But when his heart of love abides within us, seeing others as he sees each one, sweet victory over bitter scrutiny can finally be won. Since kindness is the duty of not just cat volunteers, but of every person on the planet, maybe we do help save lives. Maybe you did so today. Maybe I did so today. What about tomorrow? Will you be on duty? Will I?